Welcome to the Bold Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your support in this channel. Miguna has been dumped by President William Ruto, and the deep state is no longer cozy with the political value in Miguna. And I think, if you ask me, he has talked himself out of favor. And no one seems to be interested anymore in associating with the man from Nyando. I've revisited Miguna's story over following his latest tweet that I want us to look at. And I've just followed that. I've just been asking what exactly. I have looked at Miguna's latest tweet, and you can see a man that is honestly in panic. The man is tensed. This is what he's saying. Going home, especially for a person who has been forcefully exiled for 5 years, is not an act of war. It is an act of peace, emotional and physical restoration. To ODM goons, please don't mobilize unemployed youth to stone me on Friday. I am going to mourn my family members. Miguna has consistently peddled this narrative that there is disillusioned group of people that are planning to marshal the youths to stone him in Kisumu. Or rather, there is going to be that hostility in Kisumu. I think this is trying to borrow this from the kind of hostility he received when he wrote the Peeling Back the Mask, the book on Raila Odinga. But I want to tell you why this narrative of violence with Kisumu is actually being peddled. And I think it's a trap that Kisumu people will not fall for. I can say, I was in Kisumu recently, and I was specific in Juventus and glad that I met my good friend Nick there. So those guys were actually saying that Kisumu is calm because people have embraced that as their new way of living. If Raila lost, Supreme Court threw a verdict against Raila and no one went to the street. So who's gonna go to the street, be mobilized to go and stone Miguna? To what? For what benefit? But I will tell you why he's actually pushing that narrative. Now, after the indemnity drama in Standard, all the media interviews that were lined up were cancelled the very day. And so media have not really been giving him the airtime. And for the last 24 hours, his numbers, of course, his coverage had gone down. It had gone down, and the point of conflict was what exactly people are looking for and what he wants to talk about. I said that without media coverage, Miguna clout will actually go down. And the clout is going down. It was given total blackout. So because of that, the euphoria and the interest of the public on his story is actually going down. This is the thing. The exiled and the human rights violation that was meted against him is not a story he is coming back to say for the first time. This is a story that Kenyans have condemned in the strongest terms possible. And people supported Miguna fully that what he underwent was not really in order. And you will not even want that for your worst enemy. So when he was coming, what will only make interest and revive the emotions of people is if there is some kind of videos or photos or any other information that is to be added on top of it. But what he wants to say about being exiled and all that, Kenyans seems to have taken it and they have apologized to him. So the story doesn't add any value so far. For it to get the attention, unless Miguna, you must put some flavor into it. Now that flavor is lacking. And that's why Miguna is finding it difficult. And he has opted to push a narrative that Kisumu wants to stone him. No, that's not the position. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. I want to thank you for those who've been supporting this channel from day one, January this year. I want to say thank you very much for your support. Now, let me explain something. Has actually realized that the political value of Miguna has gone down. And the only reason he was being brought here was for the activism and to play the gig for the Mashujaa Day and just for the moment, but not really on the merit of, he was deported and so he was being returned. That's not the story. So when you look at that tweet, he's actually saying that he's trying to insinuate that he's vulnerable, that is going to be exposed. And why I see a man that is a little bit humble, he's actually feeling, and he seems to be saying that maybe he doesn't have security. So he's going to be exposed to stoning. Could he be lobbying for extensive security, for improved security while he's in the country? But the government is vulnerable and they have failed to offer that. That's a position I really hold tight. That when we're gonna come, when Miguna was here, I think because of the faith, he has been offending people and insulting people left, right, and center. He might feel exposed and would have maybe asked William Ruto government to boost, to improve his security. But that has not been granted. So that's what he's saying in that tweet. And he's just trying to notify relevant authorities, even the ministers in charge, that look here, I need some extra security. And if it gets to that point, then it vindicates my point here that Ruto might be turning his back on Miguna. But this is it. Kisumu return, the Kisumu tour, if he's going by airport, will drop to Nyando. And has been forced to change the schedule. In that tweet, he is actually saying his objective of going to Kisumu, he's going to mourn his family members. Remember, one of the guys said, that guy is asking, how is his coming relating with us? Miguna is answering that question. Because I honestly ask, what is his comeback to Kisumu? What is the relevance to Kisumu people? How is it going to help Mama Mboga wa Kisumu? It's not going to add any value. And he's simply making an explanation that that gentleman was asking, what is he going to do in Kisumu? As in, what is his comeback going to be to help? Him going through what he went through and going to Kisumu do not hurt people more than Raila not becoming president. You can't compare the two. And then that gentleman was asking, where is he coming? Is it adding any value to us? So he has been forced to explain his objective. And I think initial plan was Miguna wanted to go drop from airport, aingie Kisumu town, maybe with some caravan, host some small meeting, some town hall meeting somewhere. He's not a man who can even call a rally, no. Go to some town hall, talk to people, then go to Hero town, come from sunroof and greet people. He actually wanted a bit of some political, something political. But Nyanza is quiet. Nyanza is very quiet. And he's opting to peddle this narrative that people want to stone him because Raila instructed ODM leaders to ignore Miguna. Babu Wino have the guys in Twitter, Babu Owino, Ledama Olekina. So no one has been talking to Babu Owino, or no one has been talking to Miguna, and that is not very friendly for him because he thrives in some sort of controversy. So he's saying everything about Raila, saying everything about whatever he says, but no one is responding to him, and because of that, he's flat. It's not that jovial, and it doesn't really have that vigor that is showing. So this will help build some sort of media focus on his presence there. Maybe people are going to wait. Is he going to be stoned? Because he has said he's not going to stone. I can tell you, not going to stone Miguna. I don't expect that. And it's not something that I'm going to create. Now, this political hostility, it's supposed to create some political mileage. I should say that maybe, it's simple to go and say that Tyler has stoned. And I think government should offer him security. Not that he goes there and stage manages some protest here and there so that he can say, and to what benefit? You want to liberate the people. What value does it add when you go there and people protest and chase you through with stones? What value? If you want to lead them and they're chasing you with stones. You know, that's what he tries to insinuate. So that he knows that if he doesn't get a good reception, simply blame Raila. And that's the end of the story. I don't think that is it. And so, guys, what are your thoughts? But I see Miguna taking a humble pie because Raila is very quiet, not talking about him.